Is the breakup that you've had with your ex your fault? And if so, what do you do about it? Anyway, we're going to go ahead and get into that in this video. But first, my name is Clay with modernlove.life, where we help you get the great, loving relationship that you're looking for without having to play mind games, without having to play hard to get, and without having to pretend to be someone or something you are not. Because you deserve to be loved for the unique and wonderful person that you are. We're talking about whether or not your breakup is your fault. Now, again, I don't know all the details of your situation here. I don't know what happened. But one thing that I can tell you is that chances are it's not 100% your fault. A relationship is the result of how two people come together, how two people interact with one another. So maybe the breakup happened because your partner wasn't feeling as if you appreciated them. You might think it's your fault, but I don't know, maybe they didn't speak up and let you know how important that was for them. In which case, yeah, sure, maybe you're partly to blame because you didn't appreciate them, but maybe they're also partly to blame for not speaking up for themselves, right? I don't want you to carry this immense burden of guilt that maybe what happened is 100% your fault, because it's not. It's not. I mean, unless you, I don't know, unless you just did something like totally crazy, like just woke up one day and decided, okay, for no apparently good reason whatsoever, I'm just going to decide to start acting like a complete, what's a nice family-friendly word here? Jerk. Okay, there we go. Yeah. No, chances are that the quality of your relationship was the result of the inputs that came from both you and also your partner, right? And that resulted in the dynamic of how the two of you interacted with one another and what that was like. And then, of course, the breakup happened because if they broke up with you, then it was because they were somehow dissatisfied with that dynamic, right? If you broke up with them, it's because you were dissatisfied with that dynamic. I know it's easy to feel a lot of guilt or regret for how things happened, but I don't want you to take it all on yourself, especially if they said, like, yeah, you did this, you did that, that's why I'm leaving you, because, you're no good, and this other person is like a million times better than you, or something like that. It's easy to feel guilty. It's easy to be like, wow, I really dropped the ball. My priorities were out of alignment, and I did X, Y, Z, or whatever, and now I feel bad about it. Now I'm just, regretting all of this. And, it's not to say that you're blameless in any of this, because, again, we're all responsible for the dynamic of the relationships that we create with other people. And they're also equally responsible for the dynamic of the relationships that they create with us as well, too. So, I mean, sure, there's probably things that you could have done differently, and there's probably things that were your responsibility, and maybe things that you could have done better. But it's not as if you're alone in this, right? And I don't want you to be carrying around this heavy sense of regret, this heavy sense of guilt, this heavy sense of I screwed up. Because at the end of the day, looking back into the past isn't helpful. Because that's not where life happens. Where does life happen? It happens right here, right now. It happens in this moment. It happens in this moment that I happen to be walking on a path by the water. It happens in this moment that you happen to be watching this video of me walking on a path by the water. It happens in the moment that you are talking to someone, or meeting up with someone, or in the presence of someone. And you get to choose whether you're going to open up and be vulnerable, or choose whether you're going to stay in your comfort zone and hide and wait for them to make the first move, or choose what's going to happen next, and how you get to show up in this moment, and how you get to own this moment, and how you get to live with this moment. That's really what matters. I talk to a lot of people that are living in regret about the past, or even fear of the future, anxiety about the future. But if you really just focus in on the present moment, that's where things are going to make the most of a difference. And I know that people look at the past because they say, oh, how could that have happened? Like, I didn't see that one coming, or I didn't know it was that bad. And if I just, really look at it and understand it and dig through all the weeds of it and look for all the clues and learn exactly what I could have done differently, then I'll be prepared to show up in the present moment as a better person. Or if I look at the future and imagine every possible scenario and come up with a plan A, a plan B, a plan C, a plan D, and every contingency plan available, and memorize all the witty comebacks and prepare myself for every possible thing that could happen, then I'll be prepared to just relax into the present moment, knowing that I am completely prepared for what's going to happen. But if you really dig down to the bottom of all of these, what it really comes down to is basically a lack of trust in yourself, a lack of trust that you're going to be able to handle this present moment, a lack of trust that you're going to be able to speak up for yourself or know the right thing. And so I don't want you to build up this habit, this pattern of looking into the past or looking too far into the future. I want you to build up a habit of being present and learning what things feel like in the present and learning what you want in the present. Because, what is it going to matter if you prepare for all sorts of different worst case scenarios, or you look back through every potential what if, or what if I just done this differently sort of scenario? What good is that going to do if you actually show up in the present moment and things are just totally different, right? Like, I could sit here and I could be like, yeah, I'm gonna heal emotionally, and then I'm gonna meet up with this person, then we're gonna have this talk, and then this is gonna happen, and blah blah blah. But the thing is if you're gonna heal emotionally, you're gonna be a totally different person with a totally different way of being. And so why bother planning all of these chess moves from a place, a state of mind that you're at right now, when you're not going to be in that state of mind in the future? It's honestly just like a big expensive energy that you don't need to spend right now. So what does make a lot more sense is learning how to be in the present moment, learning how to trust yourself that you're going to be able to handle whatever happens, and learning to speak up for yourself, learning to enforce boundaries, learning to appreciate, learning to be curious, learning to be vulnerable in the present moment. That's what's going to help the most. No matter where you're going, like if you want to, work things out with your partner and save your relationship, that's going to help you there. If you want to move forward and have a better connection with someone else and start dating someone new and all that, that's going to help you as well too. Because one thing that is incredibly sexy is people who are willing to be in the present moment with you, willing to get down in there into whatever is unfolding and just be there with you. By the way, if you like this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to this channel, and hit the notification bell. And just, help me out with my low self-esteem as well too by dropping a comment down below in the comment section, just letting me know that you like these videos. This all does help us out with YouTube, and I don't know, maybe it'll help me out with my self-esteem too. But seriously though, we want to move past this whole thing about fault and blame and who should we point the finger at. And instead we just want to say, okay, regardless of all of that, here we are. We are knee deep in this thing called the present moment with whatever dynamic is unfolding right now between you and your partner. And if it's working out great for you, okay. If it's not working out, then what are you going to do about it right now? What is there to do right now? Not, exploring into the past and unearthing all the, things that coulda, woulda, shoulda, and all that. But what can you do right now? And that's going to be much more useful than blame, whether you deserve the blame or not, right? Because one thing I can tell you is that you were just doing the best that you could with what you had at the time. Like, nobody intentionally goes out there and, performs subpar or acts against their own best interest. The only way that you could do that is if you were unaware of it, if you were unconscious to it. You didn't mean to screw it up. If you did, they didn't mean to screw it up either. But if you just get two people that just, don't know how to communicate very well, or are afraid to be vulnerable, or afraid to be honest, or afraid to speak up for themselves, or whatever, you sometimes end up in these situations. And so the way out of it isn't to look for someone to blame or someone to point the finger at. The way out of it is to just say, okay, what is it I want now at this point? Can I embrace that in this present moment? And that's going to be much more helpful for you in the long run. Anyway, hope this has been a useful video for you. If you like this video, once again, hit that thumbs up button. And please feel free to check out one of these videos over here. Take care, and I'll talk to you next time.